All right, my friends, so I just did a video on what not to do with your cash. Now I'm going to do one on what to do with your cash. There's two sides of the same coin here, is that we are transitioning from the accumulation phase of building assets, getting growth, to actually decumulating assets, pulling money from those accounts, no longer working, because remember, labor is a bond. That's what you should look at your labor as your bond. But now we got to start taking money out, which is a whole different situation and one you got to be prepared for, because it's different. We're not chasing growth. We're chasing protection to make sure we don't get hammered. And now I'm 73 years old. I ran out of money because the markets did me wrong. Can't have that. So what I want to share with you, let me erase this real quick, is I want to show you what typically has happened in my career as a financial advisor for many, many years. I'll talk to some guy or lady who got, we'll just say $60,000 in a savings account or checking. We'll say checking. And these are called DDA accounts, by the way. DDA, that's demand deposit accounts. Demand deposit. Anytime I put money in as a deposit, and I can demand it out anytime I want. A TDA is called is a CD. That's a time deposit account. I can't get my deposit out until a certain amount of time goes by. Just a little, if you ever hear the nomenclature in banking, that's what those two things mean. All right, so now I got my checking accounts paying me 0.25%. I'm like, I'm just going to wait for interest rates to go up. I'm just times. What we're getting for yield on this is $150 over the course of the year. All the $150. Don't spend that all in one place. And okay, and the argument here is that on a flat yield curve, which is kind of what we have now, we have a 1 year, 3 year, and 5 year. And 1 year is paying, we'll just say 1%. A 3 year is paying 1.5%, and a 5 year is paying 2%. We'll just use that for an example. And people say, rates, that doesn't give me enough to go into a 5-year CD when rates are this low as they are. And they're certainly going to go up because the Fed's been raising, blah, blah, blah. So I'm just going to wait at my 0.25 in order to take advantage of when the rates go up. And that's what we hear all the time. And what happens is we think, because there's a flat yield curve now, that it has to go back to what's typically, which is a yield curve like this, which is 1 year, 3 year, 5 year, 5. 1 is 1%, 3 is 3%, 5 is 5%, if that makes sense. Now, I'm throwing these numbers out there for an example. And so what people are doing, they're saying, I will take $150 a year now while I'm waiting for the rates to go from flat to the typical rate, a rising yield curve, which is typical. So we got 1 year, 3 year, 5 year. So a rising yield curve says I am rewarded for the length of depositing my money. So I'm locking up my money 5 years, and reward for that will be I get a much higher yield than if I'm locking up my money for 1 year, I'm only getting 1%. And I just say, don't do that. And I'll tell you why. So even if we go back to the flat yield curve, all right, here's what you should do. And then what happens is it's easy to stay static here, saying they're going to raise, they're going to raise, they're going to raise. And the Fed has raised. They've raised, 5 times last year. It's not like this hasn't happened. And yet we still have a flat yield curve. And everyone says that's a sign of an inverted yield curve for a recession coming in. It kills me. Let's go back to relatively flat yield curve. So we got 1 year, 3 year, and 5 year. And I'm just going to throw you an example. 1%, 1.5, and 2%. All right, so that's what we're going to use for an example here. All right, so we are sitting there saying, I don't want to lock in any money because I'm comfortable getting 0.25%. And if I lock it in for 1 year, I'm only getting 1% on that $60,000, which would be $600. And I said, okay. I don't want for you to lock it in on that 1 year either. I want you to lock it in for 5 years. And you're like, what? You going crazy, Josh? That's nuts. I said, look, if you lock it in for 5 years, you'll get $1,200 on that money. Now, remember, I'm assuming that you don't need to take it out anytime soon. I'm assuming that this is just a longer-term side of the bucket. And this could be a 3 year. I don't care. I just like the 5 year. And I'll tell you what I'm talking about here in just a second. So I'm saying, okay, sir, by not taking advantage of a 5 year CD and just leaving a checking account, you're losing $1,000 a year. That's real money. You'd never drive down the middle of the road on 95 going up to DC from Richmond and take $1,000 in cash and throw it out of the car. And that's essentially what you're doing here because you're not taking advantage of any interest rates. And you're going to say, yes, but what? What if the rates go back up? All right. So remember, we're getting $1,200 a year at 2% on that $60,000. You're going to say, yes, but what if the rates go up and I'm sitting at that 5-year 2% CD, all right? So now let's go back to what we had before, which is a typical yield curve. You got 1 year, 3 year, 5 year. One's at 1%, 3%, 5%. And so now, what happens at this stage, I say, okay, you got your 5-year CD and the rates go back up magically. It just happened overnight, which is not going to happen, but just say it did. I'm going to tell you to cash out your 5-year CD. You will lose 3 to 6 months of interest. So what's that? $600 of interest you'll lose. We'll just say that. You're going to lose $600 of interest. Some CDs are 3 months of interest. Some are 6 months. But we'll just say we'll use the worst case scenario. You're going to lose 6 months of interest, which is you're going to lose $600. You're going to lose $600 to take out this money right here, whatever it's worth. All right. So you're going to gain. You'll gain $600. So now we got $60,600. Because we broke the CD, all right? We broke the CD terms after a year's time. We had to relinquish a half of the interest that we made. So we have $60,600. Make sense? Now, what we do with that is we invest it in this 5-year CD. And now we're getting 5%, if that were to happen, on $60,600 times 5%. So now we're getting $3,030 on interest, which gives us $3,030. So what the point isn't the point so much on the numbers, it's the point that we're locking up our money to get the best rate that we can get for right now, because that's what matters right now. Because right now you're getting a pittance of 0.25. And you're doing that because you're worried that if you lock up your money, you won't be able to have access to it to take advantage of higher rates. Don't do that. For heaven's sake, lock it up into the highest CD you can possibly get. And again, the most CD, not most, it used to be you could cash in, only sacrifice 3 months of interest, but I think a lot of banks are onto this strategy that I've been using since I've been banking 2001 and 2. So that's going on 20 years now. You lock up the CD and you go to your bank and you say, I want to cash this sucker out. And they say, well, Mr. Scanlon, it's going to be 3 to 6 months of interest. I said, that's fine. I'm still walking away with my principal plus a little bit of interest, and I'm using that now to buy a new 5-year CD that's paying me whatever the rates are at that time because the rates have gone up. So not only have I made a heck of a lot more money here, because I have, even if the rates don't go up, if they don't go up or stay relatively flat, I'm still making over $1,000 a year than I was making before. If the rates do go up like they do here, I just cash it out. I sacrifice 6 months of interest. And even there, I still have $600 of interest, which is still 4 times what I was making before just sitting in the CD. I mean, sitting in the savings account. I was making $150 a year sitting in the savings account, or checking account, waiting for interest rates to go up. If interest rates don't go up, I'm only getting $150 a year. If interest rates do go up and I cash it out, like I'm showing you here, I'm still 4 times ahead because I made $600 of interest after I took the penalty for relinquishing my CD. And then I can turn around and invest it here. And so either way, I'm better off because here I had $60,150. Here I got $60,600. Either way, I'm investing in that 5-year CD at 5%. I am better off for having my money locked away with the ability to draw it out with a pretty significant penalty, by the way. In this case, it's a 6-month penalty. I'm not talking the year penalty. Even that would still be more preferable, frankly, because again, look, I'm only getting $150 of interest. Here I'm getting $1,200 of interest. Rates go up. I sell this sucker out. I'm still, even if I were to sell this sucker out and lose every penny of interest, and you won't, I'd only be $150 poorer than because if I have to sacrifice a full year of interest, which I don't know any bank that does that, but nowadays Wells Fargo probably does. But I'd only be $150 poorer for the opportunity potentially to have a lot more interest, $1,000 more going in. Don't have your money sit in a savings account just because you're like, I'm waiting for the rates to go up. It doesn't make sense. Drop it in a 5-year CD. Find out what the terms of surrender are. Now, some banks will give you a free look or whatever it's called, a free out, where there is no terms of surrender. In that case, you'd be insane not to freaking do a 5-year CD. Some will give you 3 months interest to surrender before the 5 years. Again, you'd be insane not to take advantage of that. Really would. This won't probably be as much for brokered CDs because brokered CDs do have volatility. Brokered CDs aren't like CDs you get at the bank. They do trade in